Hello guys, welcome back to our Anime Explainer. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Swallowed Star based on novel. So let's start. The central region of the world within a world has many universe crystals. However, all those explorers aren't stupid. 2 holy lands, 4 organizations, 16 big families, along with several universe basic level civilizations, explorers from different planets. Everyone will be heading towards the center to fight for them. The competition there will be the most intense. Also the rock stratum there is much stronger, just like the theory behind the Valley of Wind and Thunder. Digging there would be very difficult. It's much better for us to look in the other areas of the world within a world. The scattered universe crystals, if gathered together, it can be quite plenty. Barbata advised. Luo Feng listened, at the same time controlling his cloud contact vine to dig underground. Over 3 hours passed and this was their 3rd spot where universe crystals were discovered. We've really struck it big. Luo Feng was secretly excited. The first spot, they acquired 3,000 cubic meters. The second spot was a little lesser, 2,000 cubic meters. The third spot, according to Barbata's scan and search, was 4,000 cubic meters. The cloud contact vine swiftly returned. Barbata, how much? 4,000 cubic meters. Luo Feng asked. Yeah, 4,000. Barbata said. Luo Feng looked up to where Hong and Thunder God were smiling from. 4,000 cubic meters. Ha. Hong and Thunder God also revealed looks of happiness. It was said that brothers didn't have to settle debts. However, even though Luo Feng had helped them a lot, be it Hong, Thunder God or Luo Feng, they were very clear. The rewards of a universe explorer, if not stated clearly at the start, would generate a lot of problems and resentment later. They had witnessed these sort of things too many times on Earth. Hence, the 3 stated clearly early on. If it were the 3 of them working together, it would be split 3 ways. If one person did most of the work while the other 2 assisted, the person with the most contribution would get 60% while the other 2 got 20% each. If it was one person doing all the work and the other 2 didn't help at all, the person doing the work would get 80% and the other 2 10% each. We now have a total of 9,000 cubic meters of universe crystal. Luo Feng was happy within. Let's continue searching. Hong was worried. I'm afraid we don't have much time. When the large organization's armies move in, we will definitely be disadvantaged, right? Luo Feng nodded, his expression serious. Those heirs and disciples of families, the youths of organizations had definitely all reported to their superiors. Very quickly, universe level and even domain lord levels were bound to arrive. Even, the pinnacle of strength within the Black Dragon Mountain Empire, the sector lords may even appear. When that time comes, the cannon fodder star levels such as themselves would have no place at all. A newly discovered world would originally make anyone go crazy, causing a lot of deaths of warriors. Much less a newly discovered world within a world. A world within a world was even more attractive than normal new worlds. Let's make the best of our time. Luo Feng ordered, keep searching for the next spot. In the world within a world, it was simply a treasure trove digging site. The other teams may not be able to keep up with Luo Feng's team, but even if they managed to acquire a 100 cubic meters of universe crystals, to normal star-level explorers, that was already a heavenly figure of wealth. Hence, all the star-level explorers were currently madly digging and excavating. Unless they went to the center and fought with the tens of thousands of explorers. Otherwise, in terms of excavating, they really couldn't compete with Luo Feng's team. There was no way around it. Barbata's surveillance and scanning system was taken from the Yunmo planet ship itself. Even normal sector lords didn't have such advanced technology. A triangular charcoal black ship flew through universe travel and arrived in a space close to Kanglan Star. 2 men wearing silver-white capes stood side by side. On their chests were 2-star universe mercenary medals. Brother Mingyu, this time the 2 of us brothers should be able to acquire some treasures. That World of Thunder sector lord had a reputation back then. I heard his treasures were plentiful, and after his death, he self-imploded. No one got anything out of it. With long purple hair, silver-white cape, eyes piercing like blades, a handsome man spoke. Brother Dong Lao, you and I aren't stationed so far from Kanglang Star, hence we are the first to rush over. Getting treasures would be normal. A bulky and imposing-looking man spoke, dressed in green and black. The 2 could be said to be polar opposites. One had purple hair and was extremely handsome, carefree and at ease. The other yet was tall and sturdy, strong-looking, like steel. The 2 were the renowned 3-axe mountain warriors. Mingyu and Xiao Dong Lai. Both were elite fighters amongst the domain lords. Of course, the two of them were also the Virtual Universe Network Company's military external department members. The Virtual Universe Network Company's military external department was very lax in allowing others to join other little organizations. Compared to the Virtual Universe Network Company, even the Ganwu Empire didn't pose a threat, much less the Black Dragon Mountain Empire's Three-Axe Mountain organization, those star-level explorers, even though they were the first to discover the world within a world. However, the treasures within aren't things that these little punks can take. The universe crystals they acquire would already be considered a huge windfall. They should be satisfied with that. The purple-haired man Xiao Donglai smiled. When we were star levels, we didn't acquire any universe crystals. Ming Yu exclaimed. Two domain lords. They naturally assumed star-level explorers didn't have any rights to contend for the treasures within the world within a world. Shall we go to the docking bay? Xiao Donglai asked. No need. Ming Yu shook his head. I have property here on Kanglan Star. We can fly directly through. It won't be considered a provocation or disrespect to the planet's leader. This universe ship entered straight into the internal district of Kanglan Star. Very quickly, they went straight to stop in the air above the Universe Mercenary Alliance base. One handsome, the other tall and sturdy, both with status and silver-white capes. The two flew down, Ming Yu, Dong Lai. Immediately a green-skinned man dressed in armor flew over. Mo Le, what's going on? Ming Yu and Xiao Donglai, the two domain lords, flew over. The green-skinned man seemed to have another pupil within both of his eyes. He looked extremely unpleased and pointed to the not-too-distant villa. Look, the entrance to the World of Thunder is blocked by people of the Universe Mercenary Alliance. They won't let anybody enter. What's going on? Ming Yu and Dong Lai were shocked. Right now the big powers from the Black Dragon Mountain Empire had sent all their elites over. At this time, it was hard to believe that the Universe Mercenary Alliance had their personnel in charge of the Kanglan Star base deny them entry. Let's go, we'll go over. Ming Yu said. Immediately the three domain lords went over. At the entrance of the villa stood 12 universe-level warriors, each either serious, or overbearing, or laughing and cheery, or even gloomy and cold. Everyone basically had their own character. The guards of the villa definitely couldn't hold them. However, at the entrance was a lady with short silver hair dressed in a bright silver battle uniform, Lord Ming Yu. Lord Dong Lai. Immediately many universe-level warriors bowed. Ming Yu and Dong Lai nodded slightly before looking at the lady. Ming Yu said softly, a world within the World of Thunder has been discovered. It's no longer a suitable testing site. Since it's no longer a testing site, then every mercenary should have a right to enter the world. Why are you blocking us? Who are you? The lady with short silver hair exclaimed. Ming Yu, Three-Axe Mountain Commander Ming Yu. The tall and sturdy Ming Yu stared at the lady. Listen well, my name is Ronia. The lady with the short silver hair subtly emanated a cold aura, as though she was the surrounding area's master, god, Ronia. Ming Yu and Dong Lai creased their eyebrows. The number of sector lords in the Black Dragon Mountain Empire was few, even the domain lords were rare. Whoever had a reputation, they all recognized. However, they both had never heard of this domain lord Ronia before. The World of Thunder is an examination ground. It's an examination ground of the Universe Mercenary Alliance, unless the Alliance dissolves the status, otherwise, it remains as an exam ground. As a location used to select trainee mercenaries, only star-level explorers have the right to enter. Mercenaries are forbidden from entering. The silver-haired lady ordered. Ming Yu, Xiao Donglai and Mo Le, the three big domain lords, were growing impatient. Laws? There were times where laws were meant to be abided by, however there were other times when they should be bent. Ronia, what status do you have within the Universe Mercenary Alliance to actually dare to block 3 Universe Level 2 mercenaries? Ming Yu ordered. 8 hours later. It was already dark. At the entrance of the World of Thunder, that villa entrance, the number of domain lords had already reached 6, the number of universe levels had reached 21. However, facing that silver-haired Lady Ronia, none of them had been able to enter. The earth and sky slightly tremored. The large numbers of people stationed at the Universe Mercenary Alliance base looked up to see. A silver-white pyramid had appeared in the sky, immediately causing Ming Yu and many others to be shocked. Automaton ship. In the Black Dragon Mountain Empire, the number of strong warriors with automaton ships were few. Each had a large background, and the ship before them seemed pretty high-leveled. The silver-white pyramid suddenly vanished. An incomparably well-built bald man suddenly appeared, his eyes seemingly burning with a flame within. On his forehead was a fire tattoo. His gaze surveyed below, immediately causing all the domain lords' souls to naturally lower their heads. the universe-level warriors had long bowed in respect. Lord and Mingzi, the domain lords and universe-level warriors said respectfully. And Mingzi was called the Flame Sector Lord. Among the sector lords in the Black Dragon Mountain Empire, he was an absolute elite and the pinnacle of strength. His use of fire had already reached an unbelievable level. His flame could burn and crumble even space. Get out of my way. And Mingzi stared at the silver-haired lady. The silver-haired lady looked at Mingzi, her gaze focusing on the fire tattoo on his forehead, revealing a strange smile. And Mingzi, you already attained the recognition of the elemental source laws of the universe. Truly an elite sector lord. However, this is an examination grounds world, a universe mercenary alliance decreed exam grounds world. Only participating star-level explorers can enter, mercenaries are forbidden. I told you to let me through. And Mingzi's voice was thick, it made people tremble. A silver-white light appeared around the silver-haired lady's body. Impudence, the silver-haired lady shouted, pointing angrily at the powerful fighter before her. And Mingzi, you actually dare to disregard and provoke the laws of the Universe Mercenary Alliance. The examination grounds world, all but star levels are forbidden. If you wish to die, then enter. I can guarantee, if you enter now, later on, the Universe Mercenary Alliance law enforcement will come kill you, causing your soul to return to nothing, as though you never existed. Along with the others, all listen up. The silver-haired lady stepped back, pointing at the villa. If you want to die, enter. Within an instant, 6 domain lords, 21 universe-level warriors all went silent. Even this flame sector lord and Mingzi seemed to ponder hard upon hearing the words of this silver-haired lady. No one actually moved to barge through. The days passed one by one. The number of warriors on Kanglan Star grew, however none were able to enter the world of thunder. It seemed as though the words, if you want to die, enter, had a terrifying effect on all of them. And that world within a world, the star-level cannon fodder were all excited amidst their madness. Luo Feng and his group were also grasping every bit of time they had and excavating. In the vast skies, a large light ball floated high above, shining and lighting up the world within a world. Rumble. A waterfall over 100 m high poured and down, smashing into the deep natural pond below. The pond itself emanated a chilly air. Suddenly, 5 human silhouettes burst out from the surface of the pond, landing on the shore beside. The light shone down on them, their alloy battle armors reflected the glaring light. These 5 were Luo Feng, Hong, Thunder God, Tainan He and Aogu. We finally got a huge score. Thunder God exclaimed, the past few days have been killing me. Separated into the different regions of this world within a world, the universe crystals that are scattered don't follow any pattern at all. At times we find a few hidden underground, at times periods pass without anything. This is very normal. Luo Feng's gaze surveyed their surroundings. Around them the forest was silent, no other life forms about. Third brother, how much universe crystals do we have in total? Hong asked. The 3 days added up, there's a total of 31,000 cubic meters of universe crystals. Luo Feng smiled. This was a number that deserved excitement and happiness. From the time they entered the world within a world, his group had been scouring close to the ground and searching. It couldn't be helped that the world was extremely large, with an area stretching over 1 million kilometers. Such a big world. If they truly wanted to cover every inch, it would require tens of thousands of trips just to complete it. No. Even if they came and went tens of thousands of times, they would have only searched everything within a 20 kilometers area search span. This world's depth alone far exceeded 20 kilometers. Just searching 20 kilometers down from the surface would require thousands of years. As it was too huge, hence even searching required a large amount of luck. The first day, during the first 10 hours, his group had continuously found 10 universe crystal locations, a total of 15,000 cubic meters of universe crystals. However, from then till the second day afternoon, after about 20 hours, they had only found one spot with only 300 cubic meters. From then till now, their luck got better. They continuously found 5 spots, especially the last spot deep in the pond where they found 6,000 cubic meters. The 3 days added up together, the total reached 31,000 cubic meters of universe crystals. 31,000 cubic meters means 31 million universe currency, close to 100 billion Ganwu dollars. Back then my teacher only left me 10 billion Ganwu dollars. This newly excavated world is indeed good to earn from. Luo Feng felt elation within. His little team had just left Earth and begun exploring the vast universe. The first time entering the universe mercenary trainee exams and encountering such a huge fortune, Luo Feng, according to logic, there should be universe-level warriors coming in here and chasing us out. Hong creased his eyebrows. Why hasn't there been any news up till now? It is weird. Luo Feng shook his head. The world of thunder may be huge, but to fly to the valley of wind and thunder from far, with a universe-level strength, no need to fear the ferocious beasts, one day should suffice. These 3 days have passed, and we haven't discovered a single universe level within a world, much less the domain and sector lords. Why think so much? Since they aren't coming in here, let's continue to search and dig for the universe crystals. The moment we miss this opportunity, we'd lose a huge advantage. Thunder God urged. Ha ha, makes sense. Hong was also filled with anticipation. In the universe, even planets could be bought and sold, also feeding and nurturing the cloud contact vine. With Mu-Ya crystals these could be purchased and sold. Basically, everything required sufficient wealth. With that, even universe-level slaves could be bought. As the three-man group from Earth exploring the universe, Luo Feng naturally wanted to madly dig up more crystals. The more wealth he had, in the future with their help, Earth had more chances of evolving. They were Earth's pioneers. Let's go. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed, filled with hope. Ha ha, let's go. Thunder God and Hong felt the same way. The five-man group became 5 beams of light. With the help of the surveillance device, they continued to search and excavate for more crystals. Kang Lan Star. At the entrance to the world of thunder, within the villa that was brimming with history, stood the bald sturdy man, who resembled a mountain with his eyes closed. The fire tattoo on his forehead made people tremble, making people cower in reflex. Looking at the tattoo, it was like an ant looking at a tall mountain. He stood there, the surrounding space was trembling, the air around his body occasionally sparking with flames. Before him stood the silver-haired Lady Ronia. As for the other domain lords, universe-level warriors, they were outside the villa's flower garden. Within the flower garden stood only Mingzi and Ronia. And Megzi, why aren't you entering? A powerful voice resounded within the garden. Dressed in a dark blue battle armor, wearing a helmet on his head, a man that seemed even more imposing and sturdy than Mingzi, almost like a god, suddenly appeared. His hollow steps made the air around tremble. When he landed in the garden, the entire garden immediately vanished and became a vast spacious land, beside a huge mountain. While talking, changing the landscape and controlling both land and skies. Who are you? You are the one stopping Mingzi. The tall and sturdy man looked at the silver-haired lady. His eyes seemed extremely glaring for a moment, akin to a sun shining down on the land. Ronia. Universe Mercenary Alliance Ganwu Special Forces Ronia. The silver-haired lady looked at him. You should be Middle Sector Lord B.A. Saiha from the Black Dragon Mountain Empire Sacred Land. Special Forces. The tall and sturdy man looked at the silver-haired lady before him, turning suspiciously to Mingzi. A voice resounded within Mingzi's mind. Mingzi, who is she? Seems as though she has background and status, able to call you directly by your name. Just what is her identity? No idea. Mingzi muttered, if you don't know, then why have you stopped just because of a domain lord? B.A. Saiha creased his eyebrows. I don't know who she is, but I know she has an undying behind her. Mingzi said, undying. A huge wave of shock erupted within B.A. Saiha. However, on the surface he remained like a rock, very stable. Following which his gaze turned to Ronia, his world energy gently feeling about her surroundings. Indeed, there was a heart-stopping, terrifying power about her. Lord B.A. Saiha. The silver-haired lady's eyes were calm. This world of thunder is our Universe Mercenary Alliance examination ground, unless the Alliance itself decrees that it no longer has that status. Otherwise, it is an examination ground world. Only participating trainee mercenaries, star-level explorers can enter, no one else is allowed. If anybody were to barge in, it would be a breach of the Alliance laws. The silver-haired lady looked at B.A. Saiha. B.A. Saiha felt his headache. To think that he, B.A. Saiha, with such a lofty position, a high rank in even one of the 2 sacred lands of the Black Dragon Mountain Star Field. Even the Emperor of the Black Dragon Mountain Empire had to respect him. However now, against this silver-haired lady he couldn't do anything. Killing her was too simple. However, 1, the silver-haired lady's background was huge. 2, she had made it very clear, barging would mean a breach in the Alliance's laws. Who would dare to barge in? Offending the Universe Mercenary Alliance was simply suicide. Laws were laws. However, with such matter people usually closed one eye and let things pass. Who would risk themselves and offend such powerful beings? However, it seemed that this silver-haired lady's background was obviously not small. She didn't have any qualms about offending them. And Mingzi, where did she come from? Ba Saiha creased his eyebrows, troubled within, no idea. And Mingzi communicated softly and seriously mentally. One day later, a third sector lord arrived. Dressed in a dark red battle armor, with a black cape around him, an extremely demonic handsome man moved in a flash. The skies about turned to thunder and lightning, and he appeared within the garden. The handsome man had a lightning tattoo on his forehead. When he blinked his eyes, there were sparks of lightning. Ronya, why are you here? The handsome man stood within the garden, creasing his eyebrows at her. 3 Axe Mountain, Jiang Tian Chen. And Mingzi, Ba Saiha. These two were powerful and shocking sector lords. In strength, however, Ba Saiha was much stronger. However, compared to Tian Chen, he was still much weaker. Tian Chen was definitely amongst the top 5 absolute strongest within the Black Dragon Mountain star field. As one of the absolute warriors of the 3 Axe Mountain, he was also a key position holder within the Virtual Universe Network Black Dragon Mountain Department. I represent my teacher from the Black Dragon Mountain star field to patrol this area. Discovering this incident, I definitely have to attend to it. Ronya looked at Tian Chen. Right now I represent my teacher, and forbid any breaches against the laws of the Universe Mercenary Alliance. The extremely handsome Jiang Tian Chen creased his eyebrows. Pa. Lighting and electricity struck around the area. What rubbish. Tian Chen was frustrated. What rubbish. Ronya raged. Jiang Tian Chen, these are the laws of our Universe Mercenary Alliance, not something for you to govern over. I definitely can't stop you, however I will make a record of what happens here and report to my teacher. Whoever dares to openly disregard the rules will have to be reported and exterminated, soul destroyed, as though he never existed. Don't say I didn't warn you. Jiang Tian Chen squinted. And Mingzi, Ba Saiha really handed it off to this lady. So what if one had a big background? To actually dare to speak to Jiang Tian Chen this way, really took guts. You doing this, you realize you are offending the strongest within the Black Dragon Mountain star field. Jiang Tian Chen creased his eyebrows and looked at Ronya. Don't try and scare me with these. Whoever dares to enter, I will abide by the rules and report to the Alliance. Ronya said coldly. Jiang Tian Chen shook his head. Your power is far from your teacher's, but your temper is pretty similar. And Mingzi, Ba Saiha, I'll arrange for our Black Dragon Mountain star field's 4 organizations and 2 sacred lands to hold a meeting and discuss this world within a world. Jiang Tian Chen looked at Mingzi and Ba Saiha. The two nodded. Jiang Tian Chen, why? Gathering people to pressure me. Ronya grew even more imposing. She was enraged. It wasn't just a ruse, she was prepared to back everything up. You've even taken out the rulebook of the Alliance. Who dares to fight with you? Jiang Tian Chen looked at her. Relax. I will act according to the Alliance rules, definitely won't send any universe levels, domain lords or sector lords in. At the same time, he sent a thread of thought into the Virtual Universe Network, maintaining his consciousness in reality, while separately sending a part of it into the virtual universe. To a sector lord, this was extremely simple. Virtual universe. The sky was azure blue, pure without a single blemish. Clouds and mist were scattered about. In this cloud-filled sky virtual space, a solid stone round table with a diameter of 10 m floated. On it were a motley of scars. Around the floating stone round table floated stone chairs of the same material. Human silhouettes appeared one after another, appearing out of nowhere, of which there were Tian Chen and Mingzi, Ba Saiha. They each chose a stone chair to sit in. I represent the 3 Axe Mountain. Jiang Tian Chen sat in the stone chair, saying coldly, I represent the Ice Neptune Empire. Dressed in a white robe, with long almost translucent hair, a lady smiled. I represent Black Dragon Mountain Empire. With a face covered in scales, revealing only 2 red pupils, a sector lord that was almost 4 meters tall said lowly. 12 human silhouettes. Each representing the 4 organizations, 2 sacred lands and 16 families. Of which, the 16 families only sent 1 representative, while the 4 organizations and 2 sacred lands had a total of 11 sector lords. Then, let's begin the meeting. The scaly huge man from Black Dragon Mountain Empire said seriously. The entrance to the World of Thunder is currently being guarded by the Universe Mercenary Alliance Ganwu Special Forces Ronya, forbidding anyone other than star-level explorers to enter. Jiang Tian Chen's voice resounded about the virtual space. This Ronya, what's her status? A gentle voice resounded from the Lady Sector Lord from Ice Neptune country. Her teacher is Ganwu Empire's 3rd Core Military Master. Jiang Tian Chen said, the third master spoils her. Third core military master. The other 11 sector lords were stunned, right? Hence we are unable to force our way in. Jiang Tian Chen's gaze swept past every sector lord, hence I was thinking, there's only one way, which is to arrange for a large group of star level 9 explorers to take part in the mercenary trainee exams and enter the world of thunder. Good idea. Yes. Jiang Tian Chen's words had roused up and gained the approval and nod of a group of sector lords. If there are any other suggestions, please speak. Jiang Tian Chen said, with that Ronia blocking the entrance, who would dare blatantly go against the alliance rules? The scaly big man laughed softly. All right, brother Jiang, we'll do according to what you said. We'll arrange for a large group of star level 9 explorers to enter. So how much should each party arrange? How are we dividing the numbers? Immediately the 12 sector lords began to specifically calculate and discuss. The more men they could send out, the better the advantage at getting the treasures. Actually, it was mostly a big discussion between the 4 organizations and the 2 sacred lands. 16 families, every family can at most send 10,000 star-level explorers. The 4 organizations, every one can at most send 200,000 star-level explorers. The 2 sacred lands, each side can at most send 500,000 star-level explorers. This Black Dragon Mountain Star Field meeting of the upper echelons result led very quickly to the 4 organizations and 2 sacred lands dividing up their troops internally. Under each organization there were other sector lords, domain lords, universe levels, and according to their strength, their positions were different too. The number of troops they were allowed were therefore different. Kang Land Star. Since the 2 sacred lands, 4 organizations and 16 families combined their forces after having been barred with no one but star-level explorers being allowed into the world of thunder. Wow. So many are headed over. It's totally black. Just how many are there? At the Universe Mercenary Alliance base, a few explorers were shocked as they looked at the sky. All they could see were huge battleships floating in mid-air. At the same time large amounts of dark grey armored soldiers flew down from above, covering the entire sky. In a flash, they all flew in an orderly single file towards the entrance of the world of thunder, the villa. What's going on? Dressed in a silver armor, Ronia shouted, Lord, we are all star-level explorers who have accepted the Universe Mercenary Trainee Exam mission. A star-level fighter leading the group said respectfully. You are all here for the trainee exams. Ronia was shocked, looking at the team before her. This team, that had formed an extremely long line stretched all the way to the skies. Just how many were there? Ronia, however, did a sweep of every one of them. This extremely long line of explorers were indeed all star-level explorers who had accepted the mercenary trainee exam mission. Within the villa's flower garden, An Mingzi, B.A. Saihar and Jiang Tian Chen watched as this team swiftly entered the world of thunder. An Mingzi, your speed is amazing. B.A. Saihar looked at An Mingzi. 10,000 star level 9 explorers, just nice. An Mingzi's lips curled into a smile. Sorry all, I was prepared in advance. Even the Nwolan Shan could produce 10,000 star level 9 warriors, much less a sector lord existence. To them, finding 10,000 star level 9 warriors was as easy as breathing. For someone like An Mingzi, just his territory alone was 3 galaxies, excluding the other places that admired him and worked under him. From then on, the skies of Kanglan Star were filled with team after team arriving. They were all star-level explorers, almost all star-level 9 warriors. Be it teams of 10 of teams of thousands, or even large teams of 10,000. The teams of star-level 9 warriors entered single file into the world of thunder. Ironically, several explorers from before who were here to take the trainee exam were held up. Kanglan Star, Universe Mercenary Alliance base, within a bar beside it. Mingyu and Xiao Donglai, 2 domain lords, were sitting within. Other than the 2 domain lords within the bar, everyone else was at the universe level. Normal explorers all didn't even dare to enter. And at this time, an obviously very icy man dressed in dark green armor with pointy ears entered. His gaze surveyed the bar before discovering Mingyu and Xiao Donglai. Lord Mingyu, Lord Donglai. Nwolan Shan, you've brought your armies too. Mingyu and Donglai nodded, even though the 2 of them were domain lords. The one before them was Nwolan Shan, who had the Battle Axe Fighter title. Back when they were in universe level, they couldn't even achieve this title. Hence they still had respect for Nwolan Shan, just a few troops. Nwolan Shan smiled, they are all outside. Mingyu and Xiao Donglai glanced outside. Outside the window in the plain fields, Teams dressed in standard uniforms were all lined up. Not that little, there's 200 of them. Mingyu complimented. Universe levels. Some of them were only allocated 50, or some others are 100. The 200-star level 9 warriors from the Nuolan Shan family headed towards the villa in an orderly fashion, entering into the world single file. These 200 were star level 9 warriors with the highest battle abilities, hand-picked specially by Nuolan Shan from the family. It was just luck. Nuolan Shan smiled. Okay, you can go. Mingyu said indifferently, yes. Nuolan Shan slightly bowed and walked to a corner of the bar, sitting with 2 familiar universe levels. The entire bar was filled with universe levels in groups, domain lords too. Everybody was waiting for when the star level 9s all returned. In the bar, in a spot against the window, Mingyu and Xiao Donglai were engaged in conversation. The number of people who entered are certainly plenty. Xiao Donglai exclaimed, the 2 sacred lands, 4 organizations and 16 families, added up together, it's about 2 million star-level explorers. Mingyu too exclaimed, look, the star-level explorers outside getting ready to enter the world of thunder have already formed such a long line, lining up to the skies, right? Xiao Donglai glanced outside through the window. The skies were completely covered and dark, almost as though a huge black cloud was covering the skies. You and I have both sent 1,000 people in, who knows what we'll get from it? Xiao Donglai shook his head. The star levels fly really slow, and there are ferocious beasts blocking, even with a huge army who dare to fly strongly within. It would still take about 7 to 8 days to reach the Valley of Wind and Thunder. Mingyu shook his head. Hence, those who take advantage of being there first, the first group of explorers within the world of thunder, those are the ones most likely to acquire treasures within the world within a world. Xiao Donglai nodded, asking, how many do you have under you that were there initially? No one. You should know too that the 3-Axe Mountain doesn't nurture young people. Mingyu shook his head, suddenly recalling. His eyes gleamed. Right, the 3 youths that I recruited, the ones that I advised to take part in the universe missions. Back then it seemed as though they were quite moved by my speech. If they wanted to take risks, then they could have very likely joined the mercenary trainee exams. 3 youths. Xiao Donglai was shocked. Right, it was Lord Man Luo who asked me to observe them. They are called Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God. Mingyu revealed a smile. I'll contact them now. Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God. Xiao Donglai muttered, able to gain the attention of Lord Man Luo. It was dark night in the world within a world. It was already the 8th day since they entered the world within a world, in a large plain field, with wild grass growing aplenty. The land slightly shook, following that with a boom, 5 human silhouettes emerged from the land. We've gone 8 days without rest, it's getting tedious. How come those universe levels still aren't arriving? Thunder God mocked, complaining after getting a good deal. Hong laughed. It is tiring, however it is still thrilling. Luo Feng was feeling extremely elated. Thunder God nodded. Right, thrilling. Digging for universe crystals is thrilling. Just thinking of how Earth's price was 2.1 billion Ganwu dollars, and right now we've already dug up about 96,000 cubic meters of universe crystals, close to 300 billion Ganwu dollars. You could say we've dug up a 100 Earths already. This comparison is indeed interesting. Luo Feng laughed out. 96,000 cubic meters of universe crystals. Its worth was 300 billion Ganwu dollars. It was a huge sum. To a universe-level warrior, this was already a huge sum of wealth. Discovering and excavating a new world was indeed a very thrilling matter. Luo Feng was shocked. What's up? Hong and Thunder God looked at him. Give me a moment. I'll enter the virtual universe network. Luo Feng said and closed his eyes. Black Dragon Mountain Island, 9-star Bay. Luo Feng appeared within his own house. With a glance he saw Shushin, who was checking through the news. Luo Feng. Shushin stood up excitedly. These few days you haven't been entering the virtual universe network. It's been busy these few days. Time is money, time is power. These few days, every minute and second cannot be wasted. Luo Feng laughed. These words made her suspicious. What do you mean? These few days, every minute and second cannot be wasted. Where have you been these few days? I'll let you know when I return. Luo Feng's thoughts moved. A screen appeared before him with a message request. It was the Virtual Universe Network Company's military department based in Black Dragon Mountain Empire. External Department Mingyu's message request. Luo Feng connected the call. Lord Mingyu. Luo Feng smiled at Mingyu. Luo Feng. I want to ask you. Are you in the world within a world and world of thunder right now? This video will end here. Thank you for watching.